Right, well, welcome everybody, and thanks for coming yet again to the Land Empire Blueprint. It's day three, it's the final day, and today we're very much going to be talking about how to use SMS to effectively acquire land for substantial discounts and sell it on and make large profits. And we are going to be showing you a demo of the system, so that should be really fun. Before we get started, just interested to know if anybody managed to do any investigation into Land Watch and have a look at any potential states or counties that you might be interested in. If you have, if you want to unmute yourself and tell us, that'd be fantastic. If you haven't, I also appreciate that's fine too. But certainly for those of you that have managed to do that, it should give you a really good indication of what the possibilities are. Anyone like to volunteer?
Yeah, so it's David here. Matthew, I came up with Palmdale in Los Angeles. So Palmdale's the city, Los Angeles is the county.
Okay.
96 available, zero under contract, unfortunately. So that's obviously a negative signal, I guess. And but 73 sold.
Okay.
I think you mentioned that's based on what running since the beginning of the year, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
12
that's
months.
76%, which seems okay on the face of it.
Excellent. And what was the kind of average price point? Did you get to that?
So, I mean, I wasn't sure about that. I calculated it on an acreage basis, so I wasn't sure if that's how
Yeah.
you meant to do it.
Either way is fine.
I mean, it came out, and I think it might need a little bit of correcting because there was one in there that was 99K for zero point zero 0.09 of an acre, which obviously skews it significantly, but it's coming out at 164 thousand per, I call it 165,000 per acre, which seems very high.
Yeah.
So maybe there's a couple in there that are skewing it, but that was only based on uh, the first nine properties. I didn't go through 2 pages of it, so I'm
Yeah.
sure it would average out a bit more.
And was that less than 5 acres, 10 acres? What was it?
So I was using, well, I think I was using 0 to 10 acres on that search.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, effectively, what you've got is kind of the Californian gold rush. So you're definitely going to have demand in California all year round. The issue you've got is can you make a turn on it? And you still can, providing you get a discount to the sale. So if the sale price is like 100K an acre and you can pick some up 50 to 60, then clearly you can make, some good change. But it's whether you can do that in that strong market. So the only way you better find that out is doing what we're going to show you tonight, which is an SMS campaign to see what responses you get and what people come back with. I mean, I'm sure Frank can, has probably lost count, as I have, of how many people come back to us on campaigns and say, "Yeah, I'll sell it to you, $1 million an acre." I mean, so many people, and it's always funny to us because there's very, very few places that are worth $1 million an acre. Maybe New York, areas in the center of Los Angeles, maybe San Francisco, but very, very little outside of that. So it's always quite amusing to see that. But yeah, good, good. Thanks for doing the work. It definitely helps just to get an idea because then you can kind of see what land looks like in other counties. Because $100,000 an acre for less than 10 acres is expensive for sure. But then if you go outside and say, I don't know, looking at Ohio or Washington State, you'll find things that are like 4K an acre, much more reasonable. So excellent.
And Nevada, just to jump in here, Matthew, Nevada, we've had things where realtors have said, $100 an acre
Yeah.
is the going rate. Now, Palmdale, Southern California, David, so that's always going to be a bit more on the expensive side. Sort of anything above Sacramento, I would consider sort of Northern California, and the pricing there would definitely be different. But good job on Palmdale. That's out in the desert, if I remember right. I'm thinking it's maybe 70 miles from Los Angeles or something. I'm going from memory. I haven't been out there in years, but yeah, nicely done there.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely.
Sure.
All right, so let's kick off then, Frank.
Sure.
So tell me, why does SMS work so well?
Well, SMS has really kind of changed and revolutionized the way that land investors like us connect with potential sellers. I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. When we've done everything, direct mail and so forth, and I mean, numbers just speak for themselves. Using SMS delivers unmatched engagement and scalability that traditional methods can't match. And not only can't they match, but why would you spend 5 or 10x the amount to do direct mail when SMS basically gives you instant feedback at pennies on the dollar? 98% open rate is fairly typical, certainly in the 90s, very much so. They boast an impressive open rate. This way, you know that your adverts, your promotions, your outreach are going to reach landowners. I mean, everybody gets text. I mean, here's something here, my last three, bloody, bloody, blah. Here's a lead that said, I'm not sure from 3 minutes ago. That's about road access. Um, who else do we have here? Um, Mark Cox, our realtor in North Carolina, one of them. Couple other leads here. I mean, they're just getting back to me via text. Great thing is, unlike direct mail and such, you have 100% easy tracking. So what that means is you always know what your KPIs and your metrics are going to be, and you're able to track responses seamlessly and basically gauge effectiveness for quick adjustments. I mean, we'll know if we have a hit on our hands sometimes campaign-wise within the first 5 or 10 minutes of hitting the send key. And I'll never forget the first time we did this. I had 12 phone calls from prospective sellers come in 1 minute, literally 5 minutes, 10 minutes after we launched our first campaign. I was like, oh my God, is this powerful? And then the other thing, it's 10 times more scalable. You can reach large audiences quickly, maximizing your chances of connecting with potential sellers. There's no lead time here. The prep on a campaign, Matthew, to pull a list. Let's say David picked Palmdale, LA County. Now he's got to pull a list and so forth, and he wants to get ready for launch control. What does it take, Our Lady? Like, how long would you say that would take to get moving to the point of I picked a county, now I'm going to hit the send key on launch control?
Typically less than 30 minutes.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
you compare that to print advertising where you've got to get your creative done. You've got a lead time with the printer, a lead time with the mailer if it's different than the printer. Delivery rates are shocking here in the US. Um, you can't trust the mail to be delivered. There's always stories about people throwing the stuff in, they're behind schedule, so they throw stuff in the bin somewheres rather than deliver it. This is scalable. This reaches people and you can track their engagement. That's why we recommend SMS to start and have it be the fundamental, um, you know, building cornerstone of your business.
Yeah, and I think the other thing that I very much like is uh, two things really. One, uh, already know at the beginning of the month what your audience size is because depending on the subscription you go on with the SMS messaging platform, you know how many thousands of people you can contact. So that's a fixed cost. You've only got to get the list themselves, and that's fairly cheap and easy to do. So I mean that's a good plus. And I think the other thing, which is also very good, is the fact that this system will build for you follow-up campaigns automatically. So 30 days after you've sent out that initial campaign, it'll basically pop up with the follow-up campaigns for you to do and to go back to those same people. And we've had people come back to us 6 months, 12 months, even 18 months after initial campaigns because we've had the follow-up in place. And that just makes it very, very powerful because you're not just messaging them once. So say we send out a direct mail, we'd probably just have done that one time, but now we're contacting them several times. And certainly with that and email marketing that we do and other things, it's a really, really nice system. So what we're going to talk about now is how we put together a really good winning SMS. And the next slide is going to kind of go into that. I'm going to ask Frank to kind of talk about this because he's done a lot of work on this, both from the copy perspective and also working with our SMS provider to make these text messages as good as they possibly can be. And that's because they've got three essential components. So if you can kind of talk to this friend, just give us an understanding, that'd be really good because I think it's easy to send a text message. We do that every day. We all use text, WhatsApp, whatever. But to get a text message that people open and respond to is slightly more difficult and tricky, and hence why you've got to use certain tactics and strategies. So here are the three, and it'd be great if you can kind of talk to the three in terms of why they are so powerful and also why they also work.
Sure thing, Matthew. Well, first is the hook, and that's the thing that captures people's attention right from the start with a compelling headline, an opening paragraph that makes landowners want to read more. So basically, you want them to full stop and say, "Hey, what's this? This is something worth looking into." Second thing is your offer. You clearly communicate your value proposition, what makes your offer stand out from the competition. We have ways of showing you that because you will have competition. It's not a ton, but you don't do this in a box all by yourself either. There are other people out there doing the same thing. It's a lot less than HMOs and fix up and flip and all. It's microscopic, the market size of competitors in comparison to those. But you do want to have an offer that stands out from the competition. So that's number two. Number three, call to action. We want to give them instructions and encourage them to immediately engage with us, respond with us, and we're going to give them a clear, compelling step that helps drive that action, moves people forward, starts the dialogue going in this instance, hopefully starts a telephone call or text message convo.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think one of the other things that I really like about the platform that we use is it is very intuitive in terms of guiding you to the right kind of messaging. So it has built into it effectively what they call junk words. So we obviously have templates, and we'll talk more about those later because we share them with our kind of students. But we change those all the time because we have to. You can't keep sending the same message out to 30,000 people. You've got to change that message up because at some point you will get blocked by the carriers. So we're always coming up with new messages, new strategies, new techniques to get people to open the message. And what I really do like about the software is the capabilities in the software to let you know whether you're going down the right route. Because clearly, if you're trying to be too, say, aggressive or not aggressive enough, it'll kind of give you that indication in the templates when you set them up. So I think that's really good too. So in terms of sending the message, we're going to show you very shortly how to send your first 100 messages using Launch Control, which is our platform of choice. It's a very robust SMS provider that works with all of the major carriers in the US, and that allows them to keep ahead of the game in terms of what's going on with messaging, what are the words that are flagged up that basically send messages into junk mail. So I don't know if any of you have got an iPhone, you'll see that there is now a junk mail filter on it. So not all messages get through to your inbox if you've selected that. And we're going to show you how to send those 100 messages and how you can customize the template, how you can schedule or send immediately, and also how you can monitor those responses in real time. So I think you're going to get a lot out of this because it's going to be a live demo showing you how that happens. Before we do that, though, let's just talk about what happens once you've sent the message, and then we're going to go into a demo. So you're at the computer, Frank. I mean, it's not you right now. We have a team that does this for us. But when you were doing this, you're sending out the messages, and then what kind of happens next?
The phone starts ringing, text messages go off, and it's all hands on deck, to be honest. I mean, you can expect very quick replies. I mean, and these are interested people that are, for the most part, serious. Your response rates in a campaign are going to peak within 24 to 48 hours, and we'll show you what the metrics look like if we have time on this stuff. Second thing you're going to do is you're going to conduct your property research. You're going to look at the properties. You're going to uncover the insights about the land, the comps, and the market conditions. You're going to get all that together, and then you're going to make your offer. You're going to prepare to make your first offer and close the deal. You're going to use the data that you've gathered to make a compelling and fair proposal. Fair meaning we'd love to pay 5 cents on the dollar for every property. That's just not going to happen. You know, it's not necessarily fair and equitable.
Yeah, and I think what is often surprising to people is how quickly people do respond. But I guess if you figure it from the perspective of we all have a mobile phone, when someone sends a message, if you respond to that message, you can effectively have a live conversation with that person. So one of the things we work with our staff to do is to make sure if you're doing a campaign and you're getting messages coming back, keep that person engaged. You know, keep asking them questions and kind of try and qualify them as quickly as possible. So it's a really very robust system, and it allows you to do this, as we've said, from anywhere in the world. And it also allows you to do it in, I think, a pretty safe environment because the way that the system works is, and it's the same across the world pretty much nowadays, there are some people that have registered themselves on a do not contact list, and those numbers are filtered out. So you're not going to be contacting people that have said, you know what, please don't contact me, otherwise I'm going to report you or in the US, maybe even sue you. So you are getting to the people that are open to conversations and are open to talking to you. And yes, occasionally you'll get someone that's annoyed and tells you where to go, but very, very infrequently. It's more often that those kind of people just say, "Oh yeah, I'll sell it to you for $1 million or something," and we obviously move on to the next person. So we're going to move into doing a live demo. So I'm going to stop sharing and give you access. Well, you can access right now, Frank, I think, to do the sharing. Should better just do it on your screen.
You should see that now, yeah.
We can see launch control. Yes,
Magic.
really.
Okay.
Can everyone else see that? I can see Frank's screen. It's got a screen set. Yeah, Jason's got thumbs up. So yeah, it says
Okay.
batches.
Grill.
Yeah.
So what you're looking at here is in the queue, ready to go out, is Trumbull County, Ohio, which would be like west of Pittsburgh, northwest of Pittsburgh into Ohio. Today's date, we haven't contacted anybody yet. We've got 150 prospects, and here's our template, right? So when Matthew said, you know, these are the words that you have to use and don't use, you can see that we've met all the requirements. All these messages will go out okay. Negative keywords. There's a list there of those. So we're good to go here. We're just going to get in the car and drive. This is all you do. You push this send button, right? Going out to Sharon, going out to Cordell, going out to Robert, going out to Dean. This is the hardest thing you do because by law, you have to send individual messages. All I'm doing here is, again, you could see to David here, personalized message. Hi, it's Hazel from your land for sale store. Wanted to ask, wondering if you have like 5 minutes to discuss your land in Cortland. Here's another one. And these are all done through the AI component of launch control. These variations, you have what are called spinners, which are words that are designed to be interchangeable, property, land, holdings, etc., so that the filters get this stuff, um, allow this stuff to go out. And it's all perfectly legitimate. We're not doing anything wrong, bad, or incorrect here. It's just that, I took my 9-year-old out to get a picture of Santa last night. They email you the photos, Matthew. That got sent to spam.
Yeah.
It's these
Yeah.
filters are over the top a lot of the time.
And I
So
mean,
where
that's
we,
one of the great things I like about this is the spinners allow us to have a template that effectively has thousands of variations. So it's not just one
absolutely.
text you're sending out, it's thousands. So we're always sending from the same number, but we're sending different messages. So they're all slightly different. None of them are quite the same. And that's why it's very powerful and it gets through the spam filters.
Yeah, each message that you'll send out will have 3 or 4 spinners in it. So some of these words, as you can see, this is the same initial first message. This Margie Pap is getting hi, Hazel here. That's our assistant. I'm texting from your lifestyle store to check if you have a few months of chat. A few options we can share for your land. Care to have the call to learn more? Next one. Quick conversation, available paths for your land. Show what we can do for landowners nearby. And basically, this is all I'm doing. You can see I'm 2/3 done here. I'm 3/4 done. And I'm not even breaking a sweat. I could do this part whilst I'm eating a sandwich if I wanted to. Now, we're going to get to 95, 97, 100%. All done. I'm going to go back to my inbox and eagerly await my first few messages. Straight away, we've got responses. I've already built a house on it. Ed says, no, please remove us from your list. That's no worries. We remove him from our list. George, he's already built a house on it. But do you see, before I even finished that message set, 150, um, messages went out. I had people text back, even whilst I was still sending the balance of the 150, right? I mean, it's just amazing. You know what I mean? Oh, here's a knob right here. It wants to sell his for 10 million. Here's a lady Lori that says no. It's all fine here. From yesterday, 2 days ago. Hey, Hayes, I'm Jerry's son. We'll reach out tomorrow to discuss. Okay, thanks. The lot is empty, doesn't access to electricity. Yes, about 5 acres, 9 acres, 2 plots. I'd sell them both together. Blah de blah. Sounds good. Thank you. Not at all. Basically, what this message says is they're not interested, but um, can we follow up with you in 6 to 12 months? They said not at all. So maybe this person, it's not time right now for them to sell, but 6 to 12 months from now, as Matthew said, there will be. And that's it. We just let this campaign run for a while and it will peak within 24 to 48 hours. Okay. And the great thing is, even if let's say you're full time and you want to do this land investing stuff, you can hire a virtual assistant to do the sending out for you. I mean, that's just preposterous in my mind compared to the old days where we had a phone and a fax machine to connect with the leads, Matthew?
Absolutely, yeah.
So anyway, you guys can see this. We've already got 3 responses. And you know what? When you get a no or a no thank you, that's excellent. So that means you're one more no closer to a yes. And the yes is, as you can see, are in here. I'm doing this at random. Okay, thanks. I also own this one, but has a house on it. Have not received anything from you. Make an offer, 145K. Just a 40-acre parcel. Yes, utilities are on a lot. Please make an offer. No water. And you can see these people are engaging. Okay. Yes, make us an offer. Yes, I'm selling it for $10,000. Let's talk tomorrow. We'd be open to a quote, but call my husband Peter. Bloody, bloody, blah. I mean, this is interesting.
And I
to
think
me.
in terms of, why those are there in this kind of format is because you can see some of the dates on them are a few days old. Our process, which again is something that we walk our students through and show them how to do, is to set up discovery calls and also to set up full comps on the land first. Because clearly there are a lot of people that own land, and some of it is worthless to us, but it's worth something to them. So we always have to bear that in the back of our minds in terms of moving forward. So you'll find that there's always people in the system that are waiting because we're doing something else because we have two systems that we work through. And it could well be that someone like, let's say, Alan Matson, who's asked for 50K, you can
Yeah,
there's a tag next to him. It's gone to comps. It could well be
yes.
that it has gone to comps, but in our other CRM system, one of our sales guys has actually called them to arrange a discovery call, and we may well have more information on that. So it's very, very powerful. It's very, very quick, and it does allow you to, as we've said, sit at home, press the button, and start having people having conversations with you.
Yeah. I feel sometimes like I'm a trained monkey pushing that button because that's about how much intelligence it takes, Matthew. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
hardest thing I do in a day is push that button. And I don't even
yeah,
do that anymore because we have people to push the button.
yeah,
Is it,
100%.
is there anything else that you want to show here?
No, I think that's good.
Okay, do you want to take over screen sharing again, Gov?
Sure. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. There we are. You are pilot in command, sir.
Excellent. Thank you for that. We got a late entry. Noel has just joined us. Hi, Noel. Trust you well.
Is that Noel Gallagher?
I don't know, but hey,
Might
Noel.
be.
Anyhow, trust you good. So that was launch control, and as you can see, it's an extremely powerful system, and it's why we use it because it's so quick to market. And when we were doing direct mail, we were getting good responses, but we always had to wait. Uh, and Frank could kind of tell me, we'd send something out, and then a week to 10 days later, then he'd be on the phone and be saying, "Oh, the mail's back now," because it kind of comes in clumps. And then then had to start having conversations with people and then doing comps and this, that, and the other. It's very, very slow, very, very,
Primitive
very
almost.
costly, and just not the same kind of response rates that we're getting through here. Uh, and I think the other thing that kind of powers into this as well is the ability to do those follow-ups and then also additional follow-ups from that, which we'll talk a bit more about when we talk about what we do in terms of working with students. So, quick couple of results from some students that we've been working with who effectively did close a couple of deals recently using these strategies because we give our students these same templates so you can just basically model them, put them into the system, change them slightly, because it's always best to have a slightly different message than anybody else.
Right.
They realized $7,000 in profit from implementing this in the system in just 30 days. Which again, these are not big deals. These were like two small deals. One I think was like two and a half, and then the other one was the balance. But they're nice deals that can keep you going for a period of time while you A, put more marketing back in, and B, look at the next deal that comes through. So really, really good. And, fast return as well, 30 days. Cool. So, Frank, do you want to talk a bit about what we do in terms of working with students and how it kind of works?
Sure. And there'll be two sort of options here. One is hands-on and one is passive. We're going to talk about the hands-on option first. And it says, join the Land Formula family today. And we do consider our clients family. I mean, we go out of our way to make sure that you guys and gals succeed. We've got a proven system. Okay. So there's really no thinking on your part. You're just, you know, tick, 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 bosh, 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 follow the bouncing ball. That's how it works. So if you join us, and I strongly recommend and hope that you would, your land investing journey begins with comprehensive support, Okay. Proven resources. This is five, it's going on, Matthew, a month from now, it'll be 5.5 years we've been doing this. Yeah. So our program is designed to help accelerate your success from day one. We've got coaching, you've got dedicated support to guide you every step of your land investing journey as you go along. We've got templates. As Matthew said, you'll follow our templates. You'll change them slightly. You might change 5 to 10%, and that's it. Okay. You have access to proven resources for effective outreach and deal management. So nothing is left to chance. We do a weekly call. You'll connect with fellow investors, brainstorm, mastermind with existing students that we have, and share strategies for mutual success. The rising tide lifts all. We don't keep anything secret. We tell you exactly what's working, exactly what isn't. It's a very stable business, but like any other business, it can be growing and a bit dynamic. We always keep you up to speed on what you need to know because we're doing it ourselves. None of this is theory. Once we hang up this call, if we speak to any of you guys right away to get you started, great. After that, I will be on the phone working leads myself. So there's no theory here.
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the reasons why the people that we've been working with are effectively just modeling what we're doing, which is really, really good for them because they don't have to try and start from scratch. And I think that was one of the things that when we first got started, I think we didn't find difficult per se, but we went we did a bit of training, we looked at what other people were doing, and then we implemented. And what we found is that most of the people teaching stuff were teaching stuff that was so outdated that actually what they were teaching
Uh,
did not work anymore and hadn't worked
Shocking.
for years. So we had to kind of create our own systems to make it work, and hence why this is working very, very effectively. And we'll tell you about one of our follow-up systems in a minute that's working exceptionally well, that is just crazy. But in terms of what it looks like, I think Frank's mentioned a lot of this already, but we put together a 12-week coaching program that takes you through a very formulated and guided approach so that you can go from not knowing anything to being fully trained at the end of it, knowing how to pull your leads in the right counties, how to send out campaigns, how to deal with motivated sellers, negotiate with them, and then move that into actually closing a deal, working with a realtor, building a power team, and then from that scaling on. We do that through this 12-week program, which is 12 modules, which we'll show you in a minute. And they're all interactive video modules that you go through. And that is followed up with interactive support via weekly group calls because it's great to obviously learn in the comfort of your own home, but it's really important to also get on calls with other people doing the same thing as you and find out what they're doing and also talk about deals and analyze deals. And remember, you may well be sending out campaigns in areas that we're sending out campaigns, but it doesn't really matter that much because what it actually comes down to is the person that gets your message, whoever that may be, getting it at the right time in the right place for them. And it could well be that for whatever reason, someone sees your message versus another investor's message and just decides to go with you because they spoke to you on the phone, they got a good feel for you, and you were working with them. So I wouldn't necessarily get too uh, I guess, put off by the fact that maybe you invested in different areas, or maybe if you talk about an area, other people will invest in there. They may do, but they're not necessarily going to get the same results as you. It all depends. And
Right.
the last thing I'd say in terms of how we like to work is we do one-to-ones with everyone as well through an onboarding program. And that is done on three separate focused areas. Systems, which are highly important. And systems is kind of like my bag. I set up all of our systems in the background and operational processes. We then have an onboarding call with Frank on sales, and this is all about how to do that negotiation on the phone and also via SMS. And remember, we do both. And then finally, we have a joint call with Self and Frank where we talk about how you then scale your business up because it's fairly easy to run this part time. And it's pretty easy to then scale it up if you wish to do this full time or even hire a team. It's entirely up to you, but there are those different options available. Now, the modules themselves, there are a ton of them. And as I say, these are all designed to really focus us from taking you from being someone new. You may obviously be a property investor in some way, probably houses, but this is a very focused, educational and guided journey on becoming a land investor. So week one is all about establishing a very unshakable land business foundation, making sure that you have the right business and systems set up to go so that you're not going to come a cropper later on. You're not going to run before you walk. Week two is all about pinpointing high profit land investment opportunities. So this is looking at, well, where are the deals that are going to work for you? What's your kind of target audience? What are the kind of funds that you're looking to bring in? Because clearly, as we talked earlier in the call when we were just before we started recording, if you're trying to buy in, say, California at $100,000 an acre versus, say, West Virginia at $5,000 an acre, you need different amounts of money to play in those parks. So very important that you invest and pinpoint the right investment opportunities. Week three is all about how you essentially take data and allow you to then use that for prospecting for land deals. So this is how you draw down the correct data, how you get it properly appended so that you've got phone and email addresses so that you can have not just one, but two to three bites of the cherry from the same person. And week four is when you actually then start launching your SMS campaigns to engage sellers. Now, we effectively release this in stages so people don't get swamped. Some people may work faster than this and want to get to launching their SMS campaign within a couple of weeks, and that's perfectly fine. But I'm just saying, in terms of the cadence of how this works and how you get going, this is kind of quite typical for most people. Do you want to talk about weeks 5 to 8, Frank?
Sure. Week five is how to optimize your interactions with potential sellers and create and craft and create irresistible offers that again are designed to kind of break through the noise barrier and have your material, your marketing communication stand out. Um, Next week is it's build powerful networks with key industry partners. That's very important as well. I get excited about the creative and the marketing here because number 8 gets me going. You want to streamline your deal flow and secure seamless closings. We show you how to make the closings easy and hassle free. And yes, plenty of people do it from overseas. Um, if you need anything done in the US and you're from overseas, you can get set up with it. We can help you facilitate that. That's not even an issue, not even an issue. Matthew and I went to an event in Texas, a land event in September. There were people from Australia and I believe South Africa there, and they're completely and totally able to do the business. So if you're in the UK or the EU, I mean, this is an easy one. Yeah.
Definitely, definitely.
So Matthew, you want to take the next few?
Yeah. So week nine is all about how you essentially automate and do outsourcing for efficiency. And this is really about how you do that so that you can spend less time on the business. And I don't mean that in a bad way, but I mean that in more of a way of managing and steering the business. So if you're interested in, say, working with VAs, having a proper system in place so that everything is very much automated, this really comes into play. Uh, Week 10 is probably one of the most exciting weeks, I think, in the program because it's all about how you accelerate business growth to unprecedented levels. And what we do in week 10 is we kind of introduce you then to one of our kind of, I guess, hidden sales success strategies that we use every single week, every single day, and it works exceptionally well. And essentially, this is doing outbound calling via a technology that's only available in the US, where we drop voicemails on people's phones without it ringing. And we do so many of these every day, literally thousands. and we get calls within minutes. And this is where it really becomes very, very powerful. Now, clearly, if you're just on your own, you'd want to do less than we do for sure, because you wouldn't be able to cope with the call volume. This also allows you to work in with number nine in terms of automation and outsourcing, and then also to look at weeks 11 and 12, which is, well, how do you get through some of these challenges that come up? Because there are challenges that come up with things such as subdivisions and mineral rights and titles that aren't clear. So we kind of go through that and really look at a very nuts and bolt exercise of how to get through those challenges, which leads us on to week 12, where we're bringing everything together to look at, well, where do you go from here and how do you create a 12 to 36-month plan that you can see allows you to get to the target you wish to get to, which for most people should easily be able to get over 100K, 150K a year easily just by following the process and the system. It's really not that difficult. And in fact, you could probably go for more than that. It all depends on whether you want to do this part-time or full-time. And obviously that's an individual choice. But yeah, it's a really powerful program, and it covers everything that you possibly would need to know in order to progress. Obviously, this is backed up by the weekly group coaching so that you can come on and just make sure that you've fully understood anything that you've learned and that any deals that are going through, you can talk to us and get our advice on it and our kind of feedback. And also from a sales perspective, what's going on in your business. Because we're very hot on things like KPIs, systems, structures, making sure that your business is set up correctly. So, Frank, moving on,
Yes, sir.
go into the next piece in terms of how it works, what the slots are that we have available and the price points.
Sure. I mean, this is limited spots available, and that's not a scarcity trick or anything like that. It's obvious that you would expect from us a support worth, you know, being happy with. And what we do is we only take 12 on so that at a time so that we can give you the personalized attention and we can make sure that you achieve real results. Yeah, we could do a big splash and sell this to 100 people at once, but we're never going to get to know the people. We're never going to be able to discuss things one-on-one. It's too much. So 12 is a good spot. 12 ensures um, quality coaching that Matthew and I deliver and individual success. And if you know anything about Matthew and or you know anything about me, is we treat you like family and we treat you like we would want to be treated. Because look, we've all bought courses that don't work like they say they do. We've all bought trainings where you go to get started and there's no real help, only just some support form that might take, like Matthew's dealing with a problem now, 72-hour turnaround times to get help. What I will say is this, in this business, we are here. Matthew works every day. I work every day unless we're on holiday, sick, or vacay. I mean, or trainings, I should say, attending training. So 12 spots and 12 spots only. There will be no number 13 or 14. These are, in fact, absolutely limited. And that's the price. You get the two of us for 6,000 US, and that's 4,500 to 5,000 sterling. 12 weeks, full attention, everything you see. And I think Matthew and I tend to under promise and over deliver. I'll leave that for you to trust us that we're going to do even better than we say. Um, and the thing about it really is we do this every day. There's no theory here. We don't just pontificate and blather on about things. We say, go here, tick this box, write that sentence this way, do this, get your list here. Have you done that? Yes, no, good. Okay. And that's, I mean, you would pay that. Some of these weekend trainings are 6,000 US just for a weekend and you're left alone. This is 12 weeks of both of us helping you. And I think it's very fair, particularly when you look at what else we can do in that time, Matthew. We can make a deal in that in an hour or two and make that 6,000. We do this because quite frankly, we feel that we found the mother lode and we want to share our happiness, our profitability and our excitement with you guys. It seems like the right thing to do. So that's it. 12 people, 6,000 US each. Matthew, what does somebody do if they are interested? Oh, and yeah, and after this, just mention the other thing too, the other more passive option, if you would.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I think a couple of things I was going to add in is that we did a lot of research into the market before we came up with our price point and our program, and it's clear to me that we are underpriced for sure. And this is a launch for the first 12 people only. So that if there is something you're interested in, please do get in contact with us, and we'll show you how to do that in just one moment. There are a few additional bonuses, because I think you forgot this slide, Frank, on the next page, which we're also going to throw in to get you going. So, first one is a lead package, which is worth $2,500. And this is essentially going to comprise of the following. So, we're going to give you 1,000 seller leads. So, we're going to work with you on a county of your choice that you want to get leads in. We're going to give you 1,000 seller leads. We're also going to give you, through one of our referral links, an additional 200 seller leads and then 500 skip traces. So how it works is you pull the lead, you get all the information about the land, where it is, latitude, longitude, topography, who owns it, etc. Then you effectively have to append onto that phone and email addresses. So we're going to give you 500 skip traces as well, so you can do that. Plus, we're going to give you our purchase agreement, which we've used in at least 8 states plus across the USA and probably about 30 counties or so. So it's a very robust purchase agreement accepted by title attorneys across the US, and we're going to give you that. And then on top of that, we're also going to give you a sales package, which we conservatively estimate is worth at least $8,000. The first one is the proven sales scripts to close the deal. So we've amended and changed and honed our sales scripts over the years. So these is a script that works. It has a lot of open loops in it. It also has a lot of feedback loops, and it works exceptionally well because we've really gone through and drilled down into what objections people may have to selling us a piece of land and work through them to provide answers for our sales team. So we don't just use this ourselves, our sales team uses it, and they're able to close deals through following our script. We're also going to give you proven SMS scripts to model, so you can effectively take these, put them into your system, and then run with them, as well as a get started fast guide, AI cheat prompts for land investors, because as we all know, AI is becoming more and more important generally. And if you set up AI in the right way, you personalize it and customize it, it's very, very, very powerful. So we're going to give you some actual cheat prompts that we use as well that you can use in the land investment market. And then finally, this one, which is one of my favorites, to be honest, because it's a workflow guide so you can become successful land investing. It's always very difficult when you're starting a business, which is essentially what you'll be doing, to know what to do and when. So we've created a guide that will essentially show you what a typical day to day should look like, whether you're part time or full time, and you can scale it up in terms of how much time you've got available. But it will show you the kind of things that you should be focused on. So that means you're not left wondering, well, what is it that I should be doing this week? It's very, very clear, and that workflow really helps solidify what you need to do and when. So, ton of bonuses there, and certainly, I think anyone that comes on board will be very well looked after. So, how do you get started? Very, very easy. You essentially, if you want to take advantage and map your land flipping plan with us, what we're going to do is get on a 45-minute call. We're going to talk and find out where you're coming from, what you're trying to do, where you see the land investment strategy fitting into your particular investment journey, and see if you're a right fit for the program. We don't just take everybody, we do want to talk to everybody and make sure that you're the right fit. And the way you can do that is essentially book with us on a call. And I'll put the links to the booking in the chat, and I'll send these out to people afterwards as well. So you have a choice of booking with Frank or me. So, being very democratic there in terms of who you'd like to talk to. Uh, and you can essentially get on a call with us and chat through exactly where you are, make sure that you're a right fit for the program. Frank did mention we also work with investors. Now that's covered in Module 7, which we didn't go into detail on, but in Module 7, that's all about how you can work with other people and investors to grow your land business. And that's something that we do ourselves. So I know we've talked to a couple of you in the past about this, and that is an option if you're feeling, well, I don't have the time right now to do land investment myself, but I may have some additional cash or finance I want to put into a business that's doing that, and we will offer you a great return on that. So again, you can get on a call, use the same link, and discuss that with us. So you can have a call with Frank or me, and we'll go through what those options are and what that looks like.
And we've had plenty of people take advantage of that over the past few years because the returns that we're able to generate are extremely attractive and essentially best anything else out there. Just how good and lucrative this business is. So again, if you're looking at this more passively and you have some money that you want to put in and you want to be hands off, or even if you just want to look over our shoulder, we can accommodate you with this as well.
Absolutely. So we've finished the main part of the presentation now. We're happy to take any questions on anything that you may want to ask us. So you can do that via unmuting and talking directly to us or via the chat box, entirely up to you. But I hope that's given you a really good flavor of the possibilities in land investing. Certainly for me, coming from the UK property market, I was pretty much blown away when I first learned about this, and we have progressed significantly over the last 5 years. And we've got things wrong, we've got things right. But that's one of the great things about coming on this kind of, I guess, business journey that we've had together, Frank, is that we know what not to do, and we won't be doing that again. And we know what to do because we've done it so many times. So it's been definitely a fun time, that's for sure, and definitely more interesting and less stressful than managing HMOs in the UK.
That's for sure.
So, anyone got any questions they want to ask us about anything we've covered today or in the last couple of days, please feel free and shoot because we're here now live. We'll be here for at least another 5 to 10 minutes. So, if you have any questions, just let us know. And you can type those in the chat bar or just unmute yourself and just ask us.
Well, here's a message from David asking about the passive option of kind of returns and such.
Okay. Typically, ROI on the investment fund is 20%. So it's straightforward. Yes, 20% per annum. Any other questions from anybody? Anyone have any questions on the SMS technology or anything we've covered the last couple of days?
Uh, David again, Matthew, asking about the coaching after 12 weeks, what happens?
Effectively, you'll be grandfathered into an ongoing program where you'll be able to attend calls and still ask questions if you need them. Most people should be able to get through the first 12 weeks and make something happen for themselves. But if they don't, then they can just come back to the group coaching program and get help because we are intending to run this concurrently, ongoing. So for whatever reason, and we know life gets in the way, and you've not quite got through the 12-week program, that's not a problem. You're always going to have access to the 12-week program, and you can just come on a live coaching call later on and ask whatever question you've got.
And just a reminder, Matthew, we are letting these people on this go around come in at a price that will not be sustained for very long. There will be a price increase simply because The
Yeah.
value's so stupid. I mean, we bought, I mean, I won't say what course it is and I won't badmouth anybody, but that the first course that, the one that you went to Florida and I went to Vegas for,
Oh
it
yeah.
was decent, but you didn't come home really any more prepared than you left.
No,
And
no,
that was
no.
same price, if not more.
Yeah. 100%, yeah. So David's asking, is there an option to tap into your existing system and resources, team, etc., rather than redevelop them independently? The simple answer to that is yes. It's something we talk about and discuss on the system onboarding call. Uh, it would be a slightly different price point because we would be effectively pushing you into our system. But that's something that we do, yes. We have capacity within the team to be able to do that and on our systems. But as I say, if you have any questions you want to ask and maybe you don't want to ask them on the call, it's not a problem. Please just book a call in with us. We're happy to get on a call with you and discuss it in more detail.
David again.
It would depend on what level of access you wanted, David, to be honest. We've got a few different options, but everybody's individually different. There's a different price point to say having all the systems set up and then you go versus having the system set up and then we manage them for you. So again, it would just depend what it is that you are specifically looking for. But yeah, we can talk about that. I'd say it's probably best to get on a discovery call and just understand exactly where you're coming from and what you're trying to do. Uh, that'll make it just a bit more understandable for us. You're welcome. So, any more questions from anybody else before we wrap up? No. Okay. So, Frank, in terms of, land investing and, just people wanting to do this and get on with it, what would you say is the best next steps? You know,
Just book a 45-minute discovery call with us because if it makes sense and it's a good fit, you've everything to gain, whether it's the active option or the more passive option. And if it's not a good fit, hey, at least you know. But I will tell you something. I've had so much fun in this business and the numbers. I mean, your mileage may vary. You have to work. This is not a push a button and do nothing business, but it is a fun business. It's lucrative and it works. And they only make so much land, and I mean, it's just a fun business. I like it. I go to work every day happy, and I'm like, ooh, what's going to happen today? What deals are we going to make today? You can do this full time, part time. We can help you as little or as much above and beyond the call. The basic stuff that we've discussed on the call as you want. We can put together a custom solution as well as the bespoke one that you're looking at. I would just say book the call and let's talk.
yeah, I think the aim of the call really is to build out a game plan for how you get to your first 100K. That's where I'd be coming from. Uh,
Right.
it's fairly easy to do. It depends obviously on a lot of factors though. How much cash you've got to start up with, what your network is like. So obviously if you someone that doesn't have the cash, has a network, you can tap into existing resources. Also, how much time you have available. Someone that hasn't got a lot of time versus someone that's got more time will be able to do it quicker. But yeah, I think on each of the discovery calls, we would certainly be looking to map out for you how we would factor in getting to 100K as quickly as possible. And then obviously from there, you can decide whether you want to do that with us or whether you want to go it alone. Either way, you'll get some good information from coming on the call. So definitely recommend you doing that. All right. So if there's no more questions from anybody, I can't see any. We will wrap up for today. So we've shown you how land works. We've shown you the kind of returns you can make. People are making three, four, 70, $80,000 from in profit from doing land deals. It's very easy to get hold of lists and find counties. And once you've got those, you can put them into an SMS system such as Launch Control, and you can literally be getting replies within minutes. So I think that's one of the great things about the business is it's very, very quick to market, and it just allows you to test a lot of markets too. And that's one of the other good things for very little cost. If we were going to test a market using direct mail, costs us thousands of dollars. Using SMS, I can test the market for literally less than $50. I mean, it's very, very cheap and see if it works or not. So thanks for attending, everybody. We really appreciate your time. If you to call, then we'll see you on it. We'll send you an email afterwards with this recording if you want to go through it again. We appreciate your time and effort turning up every night, particularly I think David and Jason have been on all of them, so appreciate that. Thanks very much, guys. And yeah, any questions you've got, send us an email. We've still got the Facebook group open for a couple of days, so if you have any questions in there, list them, and we will see you very, very soon. All right.
Excellent. Thanks for your time, everybody. We
Thanks a lot.
appreciate you. Okay. Bye, everybody.
See you later. Bye.